Hi everyone, another 100% honest rifle review coming to you from Russ Douglas 222. Hope you're all well. A couple of quick pointers. All PARD footage has of course been de-stretched from 1920 by 1080 back to 1440 by 1080. In other words, back to the original ratio that you view it through the viewfinder when you're aiming. The KralArms Puncher EMPIRE X, one gorgeous piece of stock. It's very dry because nobody's spent a couple of hours lovingly rubbing in some walnut oil, but the next owner can happily do that. Got the adjustable cheek piece. This is 2.2, so there's a 12-shot magazine. Max pressure 200 bar, height adjustable. Nice detailing on the stock. Stippling on the pistol grip, red safety lever, so forward for fire, rear for safe, although it is a little bit on the loud side. Side lever cocking, midships, just like the Wildcat, Picatinny rail, and one thing I noticed as soon as I saw this fella in Blackpool Air Rifles, we have an MOA adjustable Picatinny rail. So there's an Allen bolt you can actually build in some inclination or declination for your scope, which is particularly useful when using digital scopes like PARDs, Wraiths and so on. Nice one, Kral. They've got clear manometer. Border between the green and the red is 200 bar, which is the fill pressure. There is a little bit of detailing here, you can see, where you can see some finishing marks in the action, but at this price bracket, I'm not going to complain about that. If I couldn't afford a Wildcat and I bought one of these, I would try and replace the metal bottle, which is probably steel, with the carbon fibre bottle, just to lighten things up a little bit. This fella weighs 8 pounds unscoped, which is 1 3/4 pounds more than my Wildcat, and I can notice that when walking around. We've got removable end cap in the shroud. There's a very small chamber here, so there's not a lot of sound suppression in the shroud, but there's a little bit. But for this price point, it's a fantastic rifle. When you're aiming, it is a little bit loud under your cheek, so there's a little bit of action noise in addition to the muzzle. But all in all, that's a fantastic rifle. So my glamorous assistant is about to film me, showing you how I sling this fella. Anyway, thanks again Lloyd and Sean at Blackpool Air Rifles for the loan of this fella. More to come. With this being a loaner rifle, I'm obviously not going to drill the stock and add sling swivel studs as I normally would, but I've got a sort of a webbing belt here, which I also used when I reviewed the Thimbleby. As you can see, hands-free. It's a little bit heavier. This fella's 8 pounds unscoped, so 9 1/4, 9 1/2 with the PARD AA LRF on board for my 24/7 pest control, but hands-free. And I was out this morning in here before dawn, reducing the feral pigeons for the farmer, and it worked perfectly like this. So I use one crutch and my trigger sticks to walk around, and then when I find a target, adjust the height, pop the Empire into the trigger sticks, and Bob's your uncle. Oh, and by the way, My other trigger sticks have been on the go since 2017, and one of the legs jammed up completely and then fell off. So I've just replaced from here down the Primos trigger sticks, because this is an accessory I can't shoot without. I really cannot. I've tried and I just can't. So I've replaced the trigger sticks with a new pair, Generation 2, which are lighter than Gen 3, and thanks to the guys in Bushwear at Perth for that. And on top I've got my Bog ultralight clamp, which has got a handy control to tighten things up. So Kral Empire X. I haven't done a full chrono check because this bottle is so big, and 100 shots dropped it by about 20-30 bar. So it would take all week to do a full chrono check with the bottle this size. But one very nice rifle. Magazines all plastic with a perspex rear plate. Chambers numbered 1 to 12. And there's a direction arrow. So clockwise, the detente holds it, and then your first pellet with your finger at the back goes in, and then turn the plate anti-clockwise, load the other 11. Okay, and then pushes, and that's it, stopped. The end of the Empire X's muzzle is too big for the 1/2 inch UNF adapter that came with the Reximex Mito S, and it's also too big for my male 1/2 inch UNF adapter that I use with my Hugget mini magnet and magnet. So there's no moderator can go on this at the moment until I know what the thread size this is. But I'm going to have this returned to Blackpool Air Rifles in a few days. So sadly, I'll not get to test this baby with a decent moderator. So while zeroing, I reset the PARD's X and Y axis to 0, and then I loosened the Allen bolt and pushed down the forward end of the scope rail by about a millimetre or so and tightened it up. That allowed me, when I was zeroed, to have a Y of plus 12, I think. So it's basically does its job, it's centered things. Regarding these very subtle visual aids, the PARD, I think I'm about to reinstall the firmware on it, which is kind of like giving it a reboot, or a slap for old PC terms, because I prefer the T-shaped reticle in red, as you'll know. I've noticed from this recent footage, when I switch on the LRF and you've got a yellow cross within a pair of square brackets, that's way too far to the side of where it should be. So when I was looking through the eyepiece, it was measuring about here, but when I view the footage back, it's displaying that it's measuring here. So not sure why, but as I say, I'll reinstall the firmware and hopefully it'll work properly again after that. A nice November morning, and here I am at Thimbleby shooting range. You'll hear some clay pigeons in the background in a minute, and we've got a range out to 30, 40, 50 metres I think. So when in Rome, or England I should say, time to get some trigger time in. And there's some targets out to 30, 40, 50, and there's some targets that you can wind in and out with this fella. Who have we got here today, by the way?
Anth.
Anth. And
Jade.
And who's?
AJ.
Well, nice to meet you all. Right, so if you want to grab hold, this is the KralArms Puncher EMPIRE X, which is a bit of a mouthful. So if you grab the mag, it's got to go backwards. So bizarrely, you slide it in that way, and then forward, and the safety's off. So if you look through the pad, you'll see the scope come on. Right, so basically if you just have a go, you've got 12 shots there, and it's side lever cocking, and just have a blast. It's zeroed at 25 metres. It's obviously a bit unusual getting used to a new scope. Yeah. But this is basically like watching a TV screen.
Yeah, that's fair.
There we go. Okay, blast away. I just want to know what you think of the rifle, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just from your hearing it.
Yeah,
it's just from back here, isn't it?
Yeah, the action's a little bit loud. The rifle itself's not too loud, but it's a bit louder than what I'm used to. But then again, this is half the price of the Wildcat, so I'm not surprised it's a bit loud, you know. It's nice having a shoot with the sound of all the shots in the background. And also, the smell of gun smoke. It's pretty cool. I only want to take a minute. I don't want to take your whole morning, you know, see your whole session. But it's a great excuse while I'm visiting this area to have a bit of trigger time and get some opinions while I'm here.
It looks like quite a different rifle to the ones that I've usually played with.
Yeah, well it's...
We've always kind of stuck to the Wildcat.
Yeah, okay. Well, they're very good. The Wheelhogs are very good, very well engineered. But this is more of a budget rifle. Yeah. But saying that, it's quite an attractive rifle. I find it's got a nice stock. I think these are like 550, something like that. So it's a pretty impressive rifle for that price. Oh, that's a 12. So what do you think?
That's it. Not a bad gun. The gun itself, I can't get away with the pad. I mean, it's a
bit focus fussy, is it?
yeah, for me, like, I like a glass scope.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
But the gun itself, it feels right. It's just nice in the hand.
Yeah.
Sits well. Balanced well.
Yeah, it's about 8.25 pounds, I think, and I think it's 9. Well, you add another £1.5 with a scope because it's a bullpup. The balance is sort of in your shoulder.
Yeah, it's well. The gun seems to shoot right.
So
these for me, like I said, a little bit.
Yeah, the pads you
A little bit of focusing in, but
yeah,
like
your pads are sort of you like it or hate it, you know.
yeah. The gun itself, it feels right.
Excellent, nice one. It's not.
Shoots well. Trigger's alright, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, brilliant. Well, thank you very much.
No problem. No problem.
Cheers. You want to go?
It will get you away though, won't it?
Oh yeah.
Get you away, you know.
Yeah.
It will do the job.
So all the way back and all the way forward. Yeah.
If you sit down and practice ready enough, you know it will do the job.
Yeah. So quickies like all the way back, all the way forward, and yep. How do you find it?
Yeah. I'm not keen on the screen. I'm not keen on this part, but it's because what I'm used to is really clear.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's comfortable. Really comfortable to use.
Yeah.
I like the way it fits. Fits
Yeah.
nice. So, like you said, for the price,
Yeah.
it is a good.
Yeah. It's a good deal.
Yeah.
It's
I like the stock on it. I like
stock
the way,
feels. Yeah. It's quite a nice feeling stock. So.
I like the comfort of it.
Yeah.
You can put it in nice.
Yeah.
But it's just this bit, I can't get away with that.
My apologies for the scope.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Oh, I pulled some off.
Oh, right. Oh, that just. I assume it just screws in, does it?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, there
Okay.
we go.
Right. That's -1 point for that. Cause
Yeah, -1.
Redo some more.
But no, it's nice to hold and it's easy to
yeah.
move around with.
Dad,
Yep.
I want to go shoot these black ones on top.
Loud.
A second.
A bit loud.
It's a bit loud under your ear, yeah, from here. Because
Yeah.
obviously the action, the valve's under here.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But then,
Other than that, no, it is.
yeah,
For the price.
yeah.
Very well.
So opinions-wise, it's accurate.
Yeah.
It's a little bit loud.
Yeah, loud. It's comfortable, or you can get like it nice and cosy.
Yeah, because it's bullpup. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
not as heavy as it looks either.
No. Well, partly that's because the weight's back in your shoulder.
Yeah.
So thumbs up or thumbs down.
Thumbs up. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time,
Thank
Ollie.
you.
Very enjoyable morning spent at Thimbleby rifle range. 4 undercover firing points, and you've got the cacophony of shotgun blasts in the background, and every now and then you've got a nice aroma of cordite drifts across. I love the smell of shotguns in the morning. Very enjoyable. Now that the sun's come up over the ridge in the background, I'm wishing I'd brought my sunshade for the pard. The KralArms Puncher EMPIRE X has acquitted itself very nicely. Magazine after magazine has been fired, and it's on about 170 bar. So it's only, the bottle's only dropped by 30 bar. Very impressive. I've no missed feeds, and my only complaints is safety catch feels a bit jammed at the moment. Safety won't go on or off, and as Jade just found, the biathlon style drop down cocking lever isn't captive, so you can lose it if you're not careful. Already measured the length and weight, zeroed it, been shooting it, got lots of comments, lots of feedback. Very, very nice stock. So I'm just going to measure the trigger pull for my article, and and what's unique about this lovely rifle is adjustable MOA for the Picatinny rail alignment. And it's nice that it's got ergonomic finger cutouts here for you for carrying it. Very nice. Morning from frosty North Yorkshire. Gorgeous morning. I've got my rifle that's on test right now, the KralArms Puncher EMPIRE X. Pretty decent rifle, half the price of a Wildcat. Not quite as accurate as a Wildcat, but pretty capable, certainly for vermin ranges. And Sam and I have come away for a few days to see family. And if I move the camera around, just where my fingertip is there, and just beyond it there, chatting to the gentleman owner of this place that we booked into for the week. As soon as I mentioned she's going to the range that I visited on Saturday, well, he said, "Oh, I'll put some targets in the garden for you." So there's a garden cane there at 27 metres with an empty pint milk bottle on it, and at 41 metres where my fingertip is there's a larger empty milk bottle, plastic of course, and yeah, I don't mind if I do. I think we're going out in about 20 minutes, but start the day with a bit of a plink. Yeah. When you find out the owner's a shooter himself and he sticks some targets in the garden, it would be rude not to, wouldn't it? I've got my new pair of replacement Gen 2 Primos trigger sticks, wearing the Bog ultralight clamp. 26.9, that's good enough for me. This one is about 41. Yeah, thereabouts. And the distant hedge line that borders a road is 150 metres away. Lines of fire are safe. Switch the rangefinder off. I'm not going to be able to tell when the shots are going because the target spins around. That's a bit of fun. Awesome. If that wrapper comes off, I will go and recover it. Can't be litter in the countryside. Oh, there's a piece of plastic falling off. I'll have to recover that. Legs aren't too shaky this morning, which is good. Might be a little bit of a breeze going right to left because I think some of my shots are definitely rolling to the left of where I'm aiming. Second magazine. You can definitely feel an on-off breeze on my right cheek, right inside of my face. So I'll give it a little bit of right hand edge. 41 metres, zeroed at 25, so I'm expecting the pellets to strike at the top of the vertical stager, I guess. Ooh, a bit more right hand than that. A fair bit. Having seen my zeroing and practice footage from different ranges, I've got a big disclaimer to add here. When I handed the KralArms Puncher EMPIRE X back to Lloyd and Sean at Blackpool Air Rifles, they told me what they'd recently discovered. All KralArms rifles are set up using H&N FTT pellets, field target trophy. And they even found that one FAC rifle produced 12.1 foot-pounds. And they thought, why? And then they found when you used H&N FTT pellets, it put out 27 foot-pounds. No lie, they checked, double-checked back and forth. So if you have a KralArms rifle, I would check it using H&N FTTs, before you go thinking that it's not producing enough power. For some reason, the barrels are particularly suited to H&N FTTs. So the footage you're about to watch, which is me putting 100 shots across the chrono, look at the consistency. Ignore the slightly lower power than expected, about 1 foot-pound lower than expected. Ignore that. Try some different pellets. I think you'll be surprised by the findings. Here's the footage. Pellet weight 15.89 grain. Loud safety off. Right, magazine 1 empty. Mag 3. Mag 4. .100 shots. 10.35 foot-pounds. Average 542. 529 to 557. Extreme spread of 27. Standard deviation of 6. a.m. Just stepped into the barn. Tractor in front of me with some spiky attachments. There's hay bales half filling the barn. And at least 2 feral pigeons. That's what I'm here to reduce. It may be outdated and low res, but this XQ30V thermal spotter is still great for barns like this. Ah, there's a heat source there. Middle of the screen, there's recently been a rat there. I'm just moving around the barn trying to find an angle on the pigeon. That's up there. But meanwhile, there's one on the south gable end truss, so I'll get that farm here. After getting the third pigeon at the south end, I've moved outside so I can shoot through the doorway, and now I can see, as hoped, I can see the second pigeon's head, which is the brighter heat source on the right hand side. The grain barn, and no sign of any ferals unless there's some above the doorway above my head. I'll have to step in to check that. You can see grain on the right, bales, machinery, vehicles. No sign of any rats yet. Further into the barn, more grain. No sign of any rats as yet. I can hear birds, that's probably seagulls on the roof. And there's 2 more feral pigeons. So, hope you found this interesting. Thanks very much to Anth, Jade and AJ for their time at Thimbleby range, which is about 50 minutes north of York. Had a lot of fun there, and always nice to do some target practice with the sounds of shotguns in the background and the smell of cordite wafting across. Very nice. So hope this has been interesting. Enjoy your shooting, and as I say, I'm picking up 177 FAC FX Maverick hopefully later this week, and I'm going to bring you a comprehensive review of that. And yeah, I've got some interesting testing up my sleeve for that. So there'll be more than one article, more than one video coming out of that. So, and my right arm's getting shaky, so I better go, but take care all, enjoy your shooting. Cheers.